Welcome to this episode of Star Wars Playtime, where I play the old Star Wars games so you don't have to. Movie tie-in video games don't have the best reputation. Generally they aren't very good and take some liberties with the source material because expositional parts of movies don't translate well to the action of video games. The Star Wars games on the Super Nintendo are some prime examples of this. It gets even more interesting when video games are developed alongside the movie. Late changes in the editing room can't be matched in the video game easily. So it is with Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. The game came out on the 4th of May 2005, a full 2 weeks before the movie. I didn't play it when it first came out, but I was getting some pretty basic side-scrolling hack and slash vibes from what I had seen. I picked up a copy of Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith for the original Xbox, and as luck would have it, it's on backwards compatibility with my Xbox Series X, which is where I'll be playing it. Will it just be another bog standard hack and slash, or will it rise above my expectations? I really hope you liked this video, and leave me a comment and a like to let me know how I'm doing. Let's get into the game. For a game that came out at the same time as the movie, the stories are extremely similar. In fact, I'd say that where the game and the movie differ in story has been done purely for gaming reasons, not because of changes in the movie's story. The game is split into 17 chapters. The first 6 chapters are the opening act of the movie. The gameplay shifts between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker as they fight their way through General Grievous's flagship to rescue Chancellor Palpatine from the cyborg general. Chapters 7 to 8 have you playing as Obi-Wan searching for the general on Utapau before swapping to Anakin in Chapter 9 as he fights Mace Windu to protect Palpatine, recently revealed to be the Sith Lord Darth Sidious. Sidious sends the newly minted Darth Vader to the Jedi Temple to wreak havoc in chapters 11 and 12. Obi-Wan fights to escape the clone army on Utapau in chapter 13, and Anakin attacks the Separatists hiding on Mustafar in chapter 14. Obi-Wan makes his way to the Jedi Temple in chapter 15 before facing off with Anakin in chapter 16. This would have been where the game had ended if it strictly followed the movie, but the developers also saw fit to let us play as Anakin against Obi-Wan on Mustafar with an alternate ending. There's also bonus missions that unlock as missions are completed that let you play as other characters like General Grievous, Yoda, and a Magna Guard droid. There's even a mission where you can play through the Darth Vader and Obi-Wan duel from A New Hope. The game has a multiplayer mode. Additional characters are unlocked through playing the standard missions, so you can play as your favourite character. All of them are melee based, meaning either lightsabers or electropoles. That may not sound the greatest, but lightsaber combat in this game is really good. I was so surprised by this. I was expecting button mashing mindlessness, which is there a bit with the cannon fodder style enemies, but there are a lot of enemies where you need to vary your attack and wait for your opening. It's a game of tactics and patience. The better you do in combat, the more experience you earn, which can be used to upgrade your force powers or lightsaber attacks. Both Obi-Wan and Anakin have the same upgrades, but different upgrade trees, which means you'll find yourself upgrading the same powers for both of them. I got plenty of experience going through that having 2 skill trees wasn't an issue. What was an issue was the camera and targeting. The camera is pretty much fixed, which I guess is a good thing. Cameras in early games, even the Xbox/PS2/GameCube generation, are generally pretty bad, so making the option to have a fixed camera gets around that. The targeting is terrible, but when you're in a boss fight, it's okay because there's only one thing to focus on. But when there's a group, there's no way to specify which enemy to target. In later chapters, where there's lots of enemies that need attention, not being able to target specific enemies is a real hassle. There's objects around that you can grab with the Force, but again, it's really hard to target them. That said, there is a hell of a lot of fun to be had in playing the Episode 3 game. It's super cathartic, slicing through battle droids, and the boss duels are so good. I see a lot of the Force Unleashed in it, So much so that I had to have a look to see if the same developers were involved in both games. They weren't. There's a decent amount of destructible environments and upgrade powers that make the Force Unleashed seem like a natural progression from this game. The game also foregoes engine-generated cutscenes and uses a lot of footage from the movie, emphasising how closely the game was tied to the movie. I am blown away with how good this game is. It has no right to be as good as it is. The prequel era of Star Wars gave us some great games, but it also gave us some completely terrible ones. The last couple of games I played were below average, or in the case of Forces of Corruption, my stream was acting up and I really didn't have a good feeling playing it. I've also been a bit down on my content creation recently, and this game found me at the right time. It lifted me up and brought me so much enjoyment. In the end, that's why we play video games. It's an experience to be enjoyed. With all that in mind, I give Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith video game my Star Wars playtime rating of 1 more pass.